Hi everyone, welcome to Luxury Solo Explorer. My name is Valentino, your friend, and today we're going to be talking about Bali. Now, as you know, Luxury Solo Explorer, we focus on three key things. It is solo, it is luxurious, and it is authentic. So welcome again. And also a special welcome to those of my friends who've been watching on my other channels, Fly with Passport and Luxury Junket. So a warm welcome to them as well. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all for providing all the support which you have given to the travel course series. As those who are watching now, you would probably know that every week on Sunday at 6 p.m., I actually, Australian time, of course, I cover a new destination. And this week, I'm covering Bali. So it is one of the most popular solo destinations, Bali in Indonesia. It's a very nice island. So we'll be talking about that in a bit more detail. Now, first of all, what is the problem? So the problem is basically very simple. It is very crowded and it is confusing. So how to go there, what to do, what not to do, all those kind of things. I'll be covering that today in this particular video. So just stay with me. If you've got any questions, just feel free to drop it. We will be talking about the most luxurious places. So in Bali, there are 4 or 5 main areas where people normally go. So there is I think the main luxurious place is the Seminyak. So that's the most the most amazing place where most of the things are located. Then there's a place called Canggu or Changu, depending on which who you ask. I mean, we would pronounce that as Canggu, but a lot of people over there they pronounce that as Changu. And then there is Kuta, and then there is Uluwatu. And then there is another place called Ubud, which I will not be covering today because it is in the mountains. So it's more around, if you want to be with the nature and you want those villas overlooking the mountains and that kind of view. So I won't be talking about those because we'll be talking more about from a luxury angle where most of the action is. So these are the areas where we'll be talking about today. Uh, as you know, I always focus on providing you authentic first-hand information. So my promise continues. So this information is for people, who want to travel from a luxurious angle, who want to, prioritize comfort and safety rather than, basically the backpackers, and also those who are looking for, looking for nightlife or who are looking for nature or looking for beaches and so on. So I'll be covering this today. Now, just before we start, as always, I've opened the Q&A session. So if you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll be very happy to answer those questions. And if I don't have an answer, if I don't have time right now, I can come back to you in one-to-one chat and I can reply to you as well. I always read all the comments. So please feel free to put in the comments. Also, if you're joining us today for the first time and if you're not subscribed to the channel, I request you to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and share the channel. So now let's just get started. So the first thing which we want to talk about is that when do we actually go there, first of all, and how do we reach there? So I think the best time, in terms of the best time to travel to Bali, would definitely be somewhere around, from April to about October or maybe even November. That would probably be the best time where you will get the best sunshine. It won't be raining, and you'll get the best weather around that time. Now, having said so, also remember that because it is the best time to go to Bali, it is obviously going to be very crowded. So that's one disadvantage of that. To overcome that, what you can do is you can actually try to travel in the shoulder months. So now the shoulder months would typically be either towards the end of March or mid-March, towards the end of March, so that you're not in the peak season of starting from April, or you can go towards end of October or beginning of November. Again, those would be sort of like the shoulder period. So you will probably get better value for your money as well. The prices might go down because it'll probably become off season at that point in time. So you will get good weather, relatively good weather, and at the same time, it won't be very costly. Next, how do we reach Bali? Now, Indonesia is not very well connected. When I say not very well connected, Indonesia is not really a hub. It's not like Bangkok, or it's not like Singapore, it's not like Malaysia. It's not really a hub. So to reach, unless you are coming from Australia or New Zealand for that matter, or there are some countries in Asia Pacific which have direct flight to Bali. But basically, you might have to take a flight to Jakarta, and from Jakarta, you can take a flight to Bali. Bali has got hundreds of flights, and it's a short flight, it's not a very long flight though. So you can do that. But if you're coming from Australia, there are a number of flights from Australia directly into Bali. From New Zealand also there are flights. From some of the Asian countries, there are a number of flights from India, from Sri Lanka, from I believe from Sri Lanka as well. There are some flights from Thailand, there are some flights, and so on and so forth. But if you're coming from either from Europe, then you might have to have a stopover in one of the other countries before you actually get into Bali. But believe me, it is going to be worth it. Now, what is the next thing? So next thing is from a visa angle. So do you need a visa? Well, most people can actually apply for visa on arrival. However, my advice would be that you apply it online. It is pretty easy to get. You get it in like few days time, but then it will save you a hell lot of time when you are actually at the airport. You don't want to, after a long flight, you don't want to keep waiting there for your visa to be approved and then go out, when the driver is waiting for you to take you. So you don't want to do that. So my suggestion would be that actually apply for it online and be ready with it so you don't spend time over there. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that what you can do is that they have something called the VIP arrival service. Basically, a number of companies actually offer that. It costs you about $50, 50 US dollars, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So if you subscribe to that, I mean, if you take that service, then it's very easy for you to go through the immigration lines. You spend less time over there, you go through immigration smoothly, the luggage comes pretty quickly, and then they help you getting into your hotel as well. So it becomes a sort of a VIP experience. That's why just pay $50, and I think, in my opinion, it's pretty worth it, especially if you're going into the busy season. It's definitely worth it. Now, next thing, other thing which you need to keep in mind is that Indonesia combined the health card and the arrival card or the customs card together now. So there is only one card. You need to fill that card 3 days before your arrival into Indonesia. So that's mandatory. Everyone needs to fill that. That's not a visa. That's just the arrival card. So visa is separate and this is separate. Sorry, pardon me, guys. Now, I've spoken about this. Now, what are the other things, which you need to keep in mind when you're talking about, from a logistics point? One of the most important thing, which I normally say in every video anyway, but especially for the countries which are located in Asia, it is very important. Please get your travel insurance sorted before you travel to any country. I mean, my advice is anywhere in the world, if you go, definitely get travel insurance. But especially if you're going to the Asian countries, please get your travel insurance sorted before you go there. Now, why that is very important, I will talk about that in a later section. I will be talking about that. Why is that very important, and is it actually worth it? A lot of people think it's just wastage of money, and we are very healthy and nothing's going to happen to us. I will talk about those people as well. So that's that's something which I will like to say. And the last but not the least, you also would have to pay a tourism levy. I think the tourism levy is about 14 Australian dollars, if I'm not wrong. It was 150,000 Indonesian rupee. So loosely translated, it would be about 14 Australian dollars. So you'll also have to pay a levy, and that levy is, I think they charge it in the airport itself now, or some airlines, I think they can put it in the ticket as well. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, that levy is there. It's about 14 Australian dollars. So that also needs to be paid. Now coming to, first of all, the most important thing, as everyone wants to know, is about, the safety side of things and the scams. What kind of, like, are we going to be scammed? What are the safety concerns, and so on and so forth. So definitely there are few safety concerns which you need to keep in mind, and you need to, be sort of watch out for. The first thing and the most important thing, I would say, is the traffic in Bali itself. So the traffic in Bali is pretty bad. Sometimes you can get the roads are narrow. Most of the people, they are on the small bikes or the scooters, and you can actually literally get traffic jams, and it's like bumper to bumper, or scooter to scooter kind of traffic. You can get caught up in that kind of traffic as well. So if you're going to Bali, even if something says it's only 5 kilometers away, 7 kilometers away, don't consider that. Consider the traffic. So don't think it is 5 kilometers away. It's not like Australia, New Zealand, or any of the modern countries wherein 5 kilometers would mean a very short period of time. In Bali, 5 kilometers can also mean 1 hour as well. So especially when you have pre-booked tickets for attractions and you've got limited time, then keep this in mind. This is the first thing and the most important thing. Second thing, it's not very walk friendly. So when I say walk friendly, Most of the places, not to say all places, but most of the places do not have the footpaths unless you are in the some of the remote areas. But most of the areas actually do not have those footpaths, so it's not very walk friendly. So you will actually have to take either the car, as in the taxi, or you will have to take the bike. Now that brings me to the next point. uh, if if you're not confident, and if you haven't driven a bike recently, or you're not very confident, not very experienced, I would not recommend you to drive the bike yourself. Rather, if you want to be on that bike, then the easier option is to get that bike taxi using the Grab, and they will take you from whichever point you want to go. They will take you there. Experience, they know all the cuts, they know all the turns. So they will hopefully bring you safely, and at least safer than what you would be if you were to drive on your own. Having said so, just make sure, like, just also make sure, and this is where the travel insurance point comes, that make sure that you've got travel insurance. Because if you, even if you have travel insurance, first of all, not all travel insurances actually cover you for riding on a bike. So, but if you are covered and something happens to you, like if you meet with an accident, everything would be covered if you had taken that rider. So basically, you need to have the travel insurance. Plus, if you're intending to be on a pill and ride, even if you're a pill and rider, like you're not driving yourself, but you're sitting behind someone, you still need to have that insurance. I think it's like an add-on which you can add to your base insurance. So you definitely need to have that, and it gives you a lot of peace of mind. In next sections, a few sections, I'll be talking about the health and safety and the water side of things, wherein I will, sort of elaborate on this travel insurance aspect once more in a little bit more detail. Now, the next thing, or the scam, so to say, is around the taxis. So if you go with the Grab on, then I think you won't have any issues. But if you try to hail the taxis, then normally most of the taxis, they actually won't be going with the meter, and that's a big problem. So they will ask you for X amount of money. So either you negotiate with them in advance, or if you don't negotiate with them and you go there in the end, they will ask you for high amounts of money, knowing that you are not a local, and then again you are forced to pay that amount of money. And this is no different from many other parts of the world, wherein they try to take money from the tourist and charge extra. But it's just, you just need to be cautious, you just need to be careful. I'd suggest just stick to Grab. So at least when you start, you already know as to how much you'll be paying, and it's all done. Excuse me. It's all done according to the app itself. So everything is monitored, so you won't have any problem. Now, if you're going from point A to point B, again, use Grab, or you can use you. There are a lot of options available via Klook. You can use them as well if you like, or you can take it from your hotel. Pardon me, I'll just have a sip of water. Now, other things which you need to take care of is regarding your credit card or your debit card. There is a lot of ATM skimming which happens in this part of the world. So be careful around that. When you are using your credit card, make sure that you have actually put in, you cover your PIN, and you're doing it in a safe place. You're doing it mostly the malls or the hotels or those kind of places. Don't do it in the isolated areas, because they are the ones which have the most risk of, the ATM skimming. Sometimes they can clone your card as well, so that can also be dangerous. So just be on watch out for that. And the common scam is also around the rented scooter. So if you rent out a scooter, sometimes they paint, and then after some time the paint will come out, and only then you'll be able to see the damage. So just be and watch out on that. If you're renting it out, rent it out from the safe places, or those places which are reputed, so that you don't have any issues around that. And last but not the least, the monkeys. So when you go to Bali, one of the most important things which you will notice immediately is the monkeys. The monkeys are everywhere. The reason is there are a number of Hindu temples in Bali, and some of the places like Monkey Hill, of course, they are loaded with monkeys. But even within Bali, a number of places, when you're going to, especially around the religious places, you will find a lot of monkeys, and they are notorious, to say the least. So when you're around the monkeys, please take care of yourself, take care of your belongings. Sometimes they try to snatch away things from you, even not just in Monkey Hill, but even in Bali itself. So that's possible. So keep an eye on your belongings. They just need the food from you, and they'll try to snatch things from you. Sometimes if they get really violent, they can actually even bite, which can cause rabies because they are not vaccinated. So keep an eye on that. So that would be, I think that this would cover from a scams perspective, this will cover this aspect. Now let's come to the amazing part, the most amazing part. Okay, where do we say? So what are the activities which we can do now as a person who wants to travel alone? What are the things you would want to see? You want to go to beaches, you want to go to the hotels, you want to see the nightlife, you want to have a good time, you want to see, those kind of amazing places. Now, where would you go? So if you've never been to Bali, I would suggest that the best area or the safest area, and when I say the safest area, I don't mean safety as such, I mean the safe bet would be to go into the Seminyak. Seminyak is not very far from the airport. It's not like some of the other areas. It's pretty close. It's like depending on the traffic, of course, but it takes about 1 hour, roughly around 1 hour. So, excuse me, not too far. It's got all the major luxury hotels, all the major action. It's got nice beaches. There are big hotel chains, all your Marriotts, all your IHG, all your Accords, all those kind of hotels, all of them, and a lot of luxury resorts, of course, with nice villas. All of them are available in this Seminyak area. So that's the first thing. So you can, that is one place where, and then number of beach clubs are also located in this area. So you can use that. The beach itself is pretty nice, so you can use that. So basically you're in center of action. You don't really need to go to too many places. If you want to enjoy on the beach, it's very close to you. If you want to just stay in your resort and just enjoy that, that's obviously you're there. You got your high-end clubs. If you just want to party, you have that. And if you dislike, Potato Head Beach Club is there. I think there's another one called Double Six, if I'm not wrong. So you got a number of them over there. And then if you want to, and of course, if you want to have your nightlife entertainment, then there are a number of clubs and bars, which are in the similar area and not too far. So you can enjoy this area. So if you don't want to travel too much, then this would be your safest bet. Then there's another area which is called the Kangu or the Changu, depending on how you pronounce it. So it's a little bit far from Seminyak, but it's got similar vibe. So basically, a lot of people, who live in Bali, expats who live in Bali, they live in this area. So they are the digital nomads, and it's got a lot of cafes and a lot of uh, I think it's got like a lot of gyms and fitness centers and those kind of things are there in that particular area. So if you want to stay in some of the luxury villas, then this could be one of the nice places. It's not very, it's a little bit far off, like as compared to Kuta, for example, it's a little bit far off, but it's still really amazing. Now, coming to, and that brings me to the next point, which is around the Kuta, the third area or the Kuta. Now, Kuta is more party friendly, but at the same time, it is budget friendly as well. So it's not like the luxurious vibe of Seminyak. So it doesn't give you that vibe, but it still has that sort of that budget vibe to it. So if you want to focus on the party, like if you're looking for nightlife entertainment, especially some of those areas like the Poopies Lane and those kind of segments, they are here in this area. So it's got a lot of bars, and it's got a lot of shopping as well, by the way. And it's not as expensive as what Seminyak would be. Still got some villas, some nice areas, but not as expensive. So if you're budget conscious, you can stay in the Kuta area. At the same time, as always, just be watchful for your belonging, especially if you're going out in the night, and if you're alone, just keep an eye on what is happening around you. Now, other than, of course, if you've looked at the beaches, you've gone through the nightlife entertainment, you've gone to the clubs, you've done all of that, then what could be the other things you want to do? So other things is you want to see all those, picture postcard kind of images. Where are those places, right? Where are they located? Where are those islands? Where are those cliffs? All those things which you see in Instagram, where are those? So I'm going to be talking about those now. So basically, the place is called Uluwatu. Now that Uluwatu is very close, it's not very close actually. It's in the opposite side of the airport. So basically, Kuta is if it's like on the northern side, and this would probably be the southern side, so to say. So this covers basically all your that Uluwatu temple, and also it's got a number of clubs as well, and it's also got that gates of heaven. So you would have seen a lot of Instagrammers, they post those pictures wherein it seems like there are two doors and there is water which is there. So if you want to take that kind of picture, it probably takes you about few hours just to get that, stand there for a few seconds and get three pictures done. They just do the three pictures. And the way it is, there is no water, by the way. It's like an Instagram versus reality moment for you. You just stand there, the gates are there, it says gates to heaven. And then when you get the picture, it feels like that there is a reflection of water. But there is no water over there. They just put a phone underneath that, and the reflection of the phone gives an impression that there is water over there. So that's how it is. And then there is, of course, the monkey forest. If you want to go, and if you're fond of the wildlife, you can definitely go over there as well and enjoy that. There are a lot of other temples as well. You can enjoy that. I think it's called the kikak dance, if I'm not wrong. So if you're fond of the cultural side of things, then you can enjoy that. It's also got a lot of cliffs, so you can enjoy nice sunsets, especially around the sunset time. The sky gets pretty red, and with the beach background, you can get those famous Instagram pictures over there. It is very beautiful, undoubtedly. So that's what you can do in Uluwatu. Now let's look at, from an island hopping perspective, what would be the areas where we can go, right? So there are two places basically, and also depends on how you want to go. So there is an island, or there are two islands basically. Either you can go towards the Nusa side, and the Nusa side is very beautiful as well. So you can either go towards that side, right? You can either get a private yacht, or you can go, if you're going towards Penida, you can either take that, or you can also go. There are a number of day tours. They take you on the tour, they arrange everything, pick you up from the hotel, take you on the ferry, and then from there all the entrance and everything is arranged, and then you can enjoy your time there. And when you come back, of course, again the same, you go back in the same process. So that's one option. Other option is you can take the yachts. You can hire a yacht, and the private yacht will take you over to those islands. There are two of them, basically the Nusa Islands, which is, I think, Penida, and the second one, if I'm not wrong, it's called the Lembongan, if I'm not wrong. So that's the one. These are the two ones. Those are the places where you get all those Instagram worthy pictures and those amazing nice beaches, all those which you see like this is what Bali is. That's basically that area where that's basically the islands where you get all of these amazing pictures over there. uh, you can get for the Gili Island transfer. What you can do is you can also take, again, the same thing. You can either take a fast boat operator, like there is one called, I think it's called the Blue Water Express. So you can either take that. That's one option, or you can of course have the private charter. So you've got all the options there. um, Again, in terms of, since we're talking about water, just keep that in mind that, again, most parts of the world, especially on this side of the world, there's a lot of issues which happen related to water safety, because not necessary. So make sure that whenever, like, cheaper doesn't necessarily mean it is good, right? Just because it is cheap. So you make sure that it is a reliable provider if you're doing your water sports, and number of water sports, especially like the jet ski and those kind of things. So make sure you're using a reliable provider which basically has preference for safety rather than just money alone. So that when you are in water, you are safe. It's not very uncommon when you're doing parasailing for the rope to be cut, and there are a number of horrendous videos which people have posted of the rope being cut when someone is doing the parasailing. So those kind of things, and not to scare you, I'm sorry, I don't intend to scare, but I'm just sharing that please take care that you use the most reliable ones, the most authentic ones over there, and that's very important. And then while the jet ski, I'm talking about jet ski, just keep that in mind that there's also an issue of a lot of scams around the jet ski. Again, they paint the jet ski, like in some of the other countries which I've mentioned in my previous videos. They paint the jet ski, and the jet ski is already damaged. When it goes into the water, the paint goes off. You can't see that when you actually take a picture. You can't see that, and when you come back, the paint is gone, and then they will say it has been damaged by you, and then they will ask you for money. So that's sort of the next thing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at uh, some of the comments. So I'm getting a comment from Filipina Diary. Thank you so much, Filipina Diary. Thanks. Good evening to you as well. Thank you so much. Yes, it looks very exciting. Thank you very much for that, Filipina Diary. Appreciate all your support all the time. Thank you so much for that. Now, I will be talking about, so I've spoken about the different areas. So I've not spoken about the hilly area, right? And that hilly area is basically, as I've mentioned earlier, most of the people who go there, they normally go in, like couples are going there because there are villas over there which are in the hills. If you want solitude from that perspective, then that's the best place. But because I'm focused more on, solo travel, so therefore I've not spoken about those areas. Um, Now, what is left? So I've spoken about, I think, covered most of the things, which are required. But I would talk about some of the safety and some of the mistakes, which people can do, and like what can be done, right? So first of all, I would say the first mistake is that don't go for the visa on arrival. That would be my first advice. Do not go for visa on arrival. Now, why? Again, because you come from a long flight, you don't want to stand in the queue and then give your papers and then wait for them to process that. It takes a lot of time, unnecessary stress, which is not really required. You just apply online, get your visa, and you are relaxed and peaceful. Like, it just takes a little bit of time, but you are comfortable from the comfort of your home. You have applied for your visa, and then you're all done and dusted, right? So that's pretty easy. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you have to do visa on arrival, right, then I would suggest that don't pay for visa on arrival in Indonesian currency. You pay in USD, or pay in AUD, or pay in Singapore dollars, or euros, or whatever currency you have. But don't pay in the local, because in the local currency it tends out to be a little bit more costlier as compared to what it is in our parent countries, like in USD or in AUD, and so on and so forth. So that's the first thing. So keep that in mind. Second thing I've spoken earlier, and this is a mistake which a lot of people can make, is that you want to, just because it is costing another $50, you might, some people say, okay, we want to skip the fast track, right? The VIP fast track. I would suggest don't do that. Again, you've come from a long flight. You want to reach your hotel as soon as possible, take a shower, change your clothes, and relax. So you don't want to be stuck. And sometimes, when the immigration queues are long, it can take a hell lot of time. I personally remember once, not in Indonesia, but I won't name the country, which one. But I'll tell you that I was in the queue for about 3 hours in immigration, and there were only 15 people in front of me. But the checking which was being done for those 15 people, because they came from a particular country, the kind of checking which that country was doing for those people, I just, it was mind blowing. Like, it was taking half an hour for every one person to be vetted by the immigration officers. So it took hell lot of time. So I had to stand in the queue for 3 hours just waiting. There were only 10, 15 people in front of me. Just think of it. And you can get stuck. But if I had opted for this VIP service, then I would have gone through a different immigration counter, and I would have been out in 10 minutes time. And since then, ever since, whichever country I travel, if I find out that they have a VIP travel service or arrival service, I 100% subscribe to that, and it saves a lot of time. That was my learning from there on. The next one, I spoke about the travel insurance side, but just keep that in mind that in Bali, the two things are very important. One is the water. So even if you're, like, when you're having the fresh fruits, if you're using the normal water to wash them, which you would normally do, right? If there's too much water over there and that goes into the body, you can get something called what is it called? The Bali belly. This is called the Bali belly, which means that you can get an upset stomach and you can end up in the hospital. And if you end up in the hospital, then the bills can be pretty bad, because you won't be going to the government hospital. Obviously, we'll go into a private hospital. And if that's the case, then the bills can be enormous. So just to protect yourself from that, you can, if you've taken the travel insurance, that will cover off everything. You don't need to worry about anything. Either it can be a claimless one if it is an international insurance which you got, or you can pay that, and when you go to your country, you can easily get it reimbursed. So it's pretty easy from that angle. So this is very important. Second thing I have spoken earlier, but I'm sort of reiterating that if you even if you got travel insurance, but if you're going to take the two-wheeler, so you definitely need to have the add-on of the two-wheeler into your policy. If you do not have that, and if you're riding, even if you're not driving yourself, you're just sitting, you still need to have that travel insurance, because in Bali it's very easy to hurt your limbs, especially because, as I explained, the roads are very small, and the traffic is really bad. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic for hours, literally, and people can just skip through you like that. Someone can just hurt you, and you can just fall from two-wheeler. It's like just a little bit of balance. It's not like the car. You can fall and you can hurt yourself. You can break your arm, break your leg. Anything can happen. So this is very important. I spoke about the water. So again, uh, I spoke about the washing the foods and all, the food and fruits and so other things, and the vegetables and so on. But drinking water, very important. The same applies to drinking water as well. Please make sure you only have bottled water. That too, buy from reliable places, because some of the places are known to scam tourists by actually, even though the bottle is sealed, but it is actually not the real nice water. So they can actually scam from that perspective as well. So get it from the reliable places. Wherever you're going, carry a lot of water with you, carry the sealed water with you. It can save your life. Do not have normal tap water like what we can have in Australia or in New Zealand and some of the other European countries. We can't do that in Bali. It's not possible. So please make sure that we have that. Last thing is that don't make the mistake of assuming that 5 kilometers in Bali means 10 minutes time. It's not like that. 5 kilometers in Bali can also mean 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in some very bad cases. So traffic is really bad. So please plan accordingly. So just make sure that you take care of these things. Once you've taken care of these things, and if you've gone through the guide, then you would enjoy your time in Bali. It's a very friendly country. People are very nice. They are nice so long as you follow the local customs. So just follow the local customs. In some places, like you can't really, like, for example, in the beaches, if you're topless, or if you're topless, as in if you're a guy, you're topless, or if you're a woman, then you're wearing the bikini and all. That is all good. That's all fine. But you obviously won't expect that, if you want to be roaming around in the streets without wearing anything, then the locals would not be, and you can actually get even arrested for that. It is in some of the places, they are sacred and they're respected by locals, as well as they expect that the foreigners would also respect them. So just take care of that, like just follow the local customs and you would be fine. It's an amazing place, really beautiful, luxurious villas are there. I think some of the best villas I have seen across the world are in Bali, and they're really cheap if you compare it to the rest of the world. So they're really nice places. You really enjoy that, but just follow the local custom. Like always, if there are any questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm very happy to answer them for you. Um, do we need to have a full license to drive there? Yes, of course. Definitely, you need to have full license. One of the conditions of the travel insurance is that whatever license you have in Australia, you have the country wherever you're going. That country will accept the same license. So if you got a P license and your provisional license is not accepted over there, then you will not be able to drive. That's the simplest answer. So that's not allowed. And yes, 5 kilometers for 1 hour, yes, definitely possible. Number of places. If you go on YouTube, and if you go on Google and just search for Bali traffic jam, you will find sometimes, you need to go 1 kilometer, but that one full kilometer is, because the road is so small, you are stuck in traffic, absolute stuck in traffic. You can't really move, and that is possible. I almost got stuck in traffic once like that, but thankfully I was with a driver who knew some kind of a shortcut, and he took me from somewhere else, and therefore I got saved. But otherwise, it is quite possible that 5 kilometers for 1 hour is pretty much possible. So this brings me to the end of this video. So thank you so much for those who are watching it. Thank you so much for all your support. Just remember, this is Luxury Solo Explorer. So it is solo, it is luxury, and it is also authentic. So my intention is to provide you information from a solo perspective only. and also provide you information which is related so you can have a luxurious, comfortable, safe experience. And of course, I want to give you authentic information. So just remember that it is solo, it is luxurious, it is authentic. So this was the playbook for Bali. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me and supporting the channel. Request you, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and also just put that in the chat, like which country you want me to make the next video on. I haven't decided that so far. So when I see your comments, I will be deciding which in for which country I'll be making the next video. So till the next week, same time, I will see you all. So thank you so much. The live chat is open now. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. If not, I will see you next week. So you'll rather walk slowly than taking a car full of stress. Well, as I mentioned earlier, as I mentioned earlier, Bali is not very walk friendly. So I think you will not be safe if you are actually walking in that kind of street, which is one-way street with a small road full of, hundreds and thousands of people going with their bikes. I don't think you would want to walk on that. That would be my advice to you. My suggestion would be please definitely go. Either use your car if you can hire a driver and take that, or if you are a pill and rider, there is you can take the scooter taxi as well. So that is another option. You can do that. But especially in the crowded areas, I would not advise walking around, because you can easily get hurt. I'm not sure if I understood your question correctly. Middle East, Dubai. Okay, so you want me to make a video on Middle East, like on Dubai? Okay, I will. I will definitely try to keep that into consideration. I will make a video on Dubai as well. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Philippine and Ari. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and thanks for those who watched, given your comments. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.